5 million, Dow 30 sell side 22 million, Mag 7 sell side 1 million. US stocks extend gains, the Nasdaq at 1.01%. Freem shares climb 6.8%, the most since October 21st. The Philadelphia Semiconductor Index jumps 4.8% at the open. US crude futures rise nearly 3% to $85.55 a barrel, the highest level since June 12th.
I apologize, guys. I always notice that my mic is muted for whatever reason. Anyway, so what I was saying, I was kind of explaining why I took that trade short, and we got a double top rejection on my tick chart. It's so crazy that I guess I would have to go down.
US yields extend climb with oil and 30-year the highest since May 21st.
See what a 10-second. Yeah, the 1 minute chart on the ES is that's even too big. All right, so with the ES, I'm definitely gonna have to change my strategy. We can capture these moves like this, but I have to be kind of I have to be very particular about once it reaches past a certain point, I have to begin to trail my stop, because the ES doesn't play games when it comes to structure. It's the reason why I can take trades like these with minimal risk and high reward, and it works on both sides of the chart. So if I'm not careful here, I can give back this entire thing.
5% set for biggest gain since May.
All right, so I'm gonna begin to trail this right here because it could bounce here. So I'm gonna begin to trail this right here at that little box that in. Nice profit right there. Perfect entry, perfect execution. All right. I mean, the ES isn't as exciting as the Nasdaq, but you can make a lot of money with the ES if you choose to trust and follow the rules of trading ES. You can make a lot of money in a short period of time. We're up $1,700. Mind you, when I trade the Nasdaq, I had to trade so small because it's so volatile. A big move like this in the Nasdaq, I'll be up, I don't know, $500, $600. That was like a $900, $1,000 point move to the downside. And I can still continue to take good setups and add to the P&L, because that was a trade that we took last night. And even though we lost the trade, I mean, we made all that money back plus more. And it looks like I should have stayed into the trade. All right, so we are coming to that structure. I do think that we could potentially see a bounce here, maybe at like 97, 95, probably 95. Because 95 was last week's close, and the market has been rejecting from that area. We did see a break from that area. So I guess what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna set a limit at 90. Well, if I set a limit at 95, does that break? Validate anything? I mean, it's right there at the breaker structure right there, 95. So all right, so we got 3 more minutes, 2 more minutes until the orb officially forms. Now, we spoke about this last night. We'll continue to speak about this. The Nasdaq follows the initial balance better than the orb, in my opinion. I'm not saying that orb breakouts do not work, but there is a shift that happens when it comes to the Nasdaq, that it will respect the orb levels, or it respects the initial balance more than the orb. The ES, what I've seen so far, is completely the opposite. It respects the orb over the initial balance, the levels. I don't know if it could have been just a coincidence this week. I will continue to look into it. But when it comes to the ES, I am willing to take the orb breakout, failed orb this, failed orb that, because since the ES is so structured. Yeah, it looks like I should have stayed in that. I mean, taking a short from the highs, this right here would have been a 20-point move. That would have been a nice trade right there. If I had like probably like a piece of this still on. And as I begin to evolve and with the ES, I'll probably start doing that. Having like a piece of the position, because that was like the big reason why I chose to trade the MES over the ES. We can make a lot of money with the ES, but there's just no flexibility. I have to take profits wherever I place my profit target. But with the MES, I can take pieces off here and there. Even though I won't probably do something like that, but I can leave a piece of this to run, to stay in the trade, and just have an ego piece. So I can say I caught 20 points in the ES, 20, 30 points in the ES, but it's not, if it comes back, it stops me out, I'm not going to cry about it. But it does look like this, we could see a pullback into that imbalance right there. And we could probably see a break of this structure, break of this low right here, maybe, we'll see. But we clearly have a trend line coming down. We clearly have this trend line coming down. We have this failed breakout right here. Pull back to that trend line. But obviously the bulls were able to break through. We got a retest of this high right here. And now we're seeing that rejection back into this area. So it's pretty obvious that we could potentially see the market try to bounce at this trend line, but it's the way that it's sloped. Price will probably land on this trend line right here, and it'll probably just slip and then just probably break down potentially. So let's see. We'll see if they hold this. But I do think that this is probably a pullback or a continuation down. All right, so the orb is officially formed. All right, so we'll see if we get like an orb breakdown or something, like a fake breakdown underneath the orb.
US 10-year and 30-year yields reach the highest levels in 2 months.
Yeah, we're gonna trade like this. 97. Okay. Yeah, okay, so I'll keep the 5 minute, and the 15, because I think after. Hmm. Okay. You know what I need to actually put on my chart now? Because this is the ES, I have to put VWAP on this chart. I have to put VWAP on this chart. That's interesting. I'm gonna look at that. I'm gonna look into that. Looks like that VWAP wave strategy with the ES looks pretty solid. You can definitely build a strategy around it for sure. A VWAP wave strategy, huh? Yeah, you could definitely build a. Okay, but I'm not gonna have this on our chart, though. I'm just looking at it for right now. I'll look into this VWAP wave strategy though, but I only need is VWAP. VWAP on the chart. Okay. Okay. You know what? I probably should have taken that, man. I probably should have tried for the orb low. I should have tried the orb low, man. That's. I should have tried the orb low.
The yen slides back to the weakest since 1986, touches 162.89 versus the US dollar.
All right, so I'm going to Hey, yo, what's up, Santiago? Oh yeah. My bad. I forgot to mention during the last stream that I had to leave my desk and that I wouldn't be back until Sunday, or not Sunday, Monday night. It slipped my mind. And in just like true fashion, I reminded myself of it when it was time to go to stream. I was like, oh shit, I forgot to tell everybody that I wouldn't be able to stream. But we're definitely back. We're definitely back. Definitely back with a new mindset now. Yeah, I don't know if you was here last night, but those little 10K, well, not little, but those 10K accounts with Top Step, I almost lost it last week messing around with the Nasdaq. And I was just thinking about, man, if I lost this account, if I lose this account, Top Step ain't gonna probably drop an account like this. So I've decided that I'm gonna trade the ES. Even though I don't particularly care to, but we can make consistent money without being emotionally hijacked and all that other stuff. But yeah. You said you've been on a break last week with small profit, pre-market sweep worked perfectly today. Yeah, it does, man. It does. It just sucks like the Nasdaq is it's just so crazy. But it's so fun to trade. It's so addictive to trade. It is. I'm not saying that right now I wouldn't want to be on the Nasdaq chart looking for trades. And we find them on the Nasdaq all the time. The only thing that the only blocker for me in the Nasdaq is that I'm not going to put size on the Nasdaq at all. I'm not going to put size on it. All it takes is one bad trade on the Nasdaq and your account is gone. So you have to trade small. I think that's what gives it its addictive properties, because it feels like, even if you're taking a good setup, it does feel like a gamble. And then we all know that gambling is fun, but it's very addictive. So I'm gonna make the best of this. Because I mean, we've made so much money with the ES so far. Being able to properly trade size, proper risk management. We can talk about the trades that we're taking. You say you've been working on a strategy to trade the Asian Open. I mean, if you don't mind sharing, you can tell us. Oh, same thing as the New York Open. You're talking about the 829 candle, or well, the 929 candle for you. Is it similar to that strategy right there? The 459 candle. Okay. And you said that's been working, and you said that works better on the ES, right? You said that it works better on the ES. It works for both, but you find that it works better for the ES. Let's
Going
look
to
at that.
state Rubio will meet China's Wang Yi in Manila on Wednesday.
Okay. Where is the 829? Right there. This is the 829 candle. And I think, honestly, I think it actually traded to like the 50% of it, didn't it, or something like that? Yeah. Actually, you know what, Santiago? This is actually the trade that we took this morning. We actually got out of this trade. We got out at these lows right here, and then obviously we got out at 511, and then it goes down to wow, shit, 7 more points to the downside. Should left the runner on that one. All right, so yep, right there. Yeah, this is the 829 candle for me, or that's that candle for me right here. And yeah, it rejected at the 50% of it. Yep. And but you know what, Santiago, I just traded it because there was like a level right here. There was like a range right here on my tick chart, and I just took a chance at it. I should have took a chance at the sweep of these highs.
Post on X. Kepler energy reporter Bakker says 2 vessels have U-turned in the Red Sea following Houthi threats.
I don't think so. I don't think this thing rejects all the way down. I might have to take a quick
According to sources, Caspian
profit target
Pipeline
here. If
Consortium
we do
has
see a
stopped oil
rejection, it'll
intake
have to
from
be quick.
Kazakhstan at its Black Sea terminal due to attacks on tankers.
Probably down to about 514. If we do see a rejection here, it's probably better to probably take this trade to the long side, actually. $705. $22.50. Okay. We'll see what happens here. We'll see what happens here. So you're not gonna keep trading? And yeah, that's good, man. Not over trading. All right, so we're getting that drop. We'll see if they. We'll see. And this is the good thing about the ES. Unlike the Nasdaq, the ES is a balanced market. So, I mean, unless there's news, you're not necessarily going to see the market trade above. It's not going to just trade and continue to trade in one direction until it decides it doesn't want to anymore. That is the benefit. That's an added benefit of trading the ES. Okay, I'm gonna let this trade run. I have to go get my daughter. Oh shit, that shit bounced literally at damn, that shit literally bounced at 12. Oh my god. That shit. I mean, with the ES, you kind of have to do that, man. You kind of have to pay attention to the structure because your feelings will get hurt. Hold on, let me get my daughter real quick.
US chip stocks climb. Nvidia up
All right,
0.6%.
sorry about that,
Intel
guys.
gains
All right, so it looks like I'm
4.6%.
still in this.
AMD up
Well, actually, I could
4.3%.
probably
And Micron jumps 6.8%.
I can probably just
Broadcom up 1.1%. And Marvel Technology gains 5.2%. Western Digital up 9.3%.
I can probably add to this if this thing breaks. That looks like a double top rejection right there. And the market has formed this trend line. The market has formed a trend line right there. So we can get a break here. I'll probably add to this thing.
According to Insider, Intel plans layoff within its data center group.
All right, looks like the market is trying to bounce at that trend line. Yikes. Well, regardless of what happens in this trade, what I'm gonna take away is we did identify an area where I should have taken profits. I didn't take profits. The market, we did see a reaction at that area. So if it does continue higher and stops me out here, I'm gonna have to accept that. But does look like we could see a breakdown. We got a trend line right there. And if we can get a good break of this trend line, we get a nice close underneath that trend line, I may add into it. I may add into this. Probably 5 more contracts. Okay. Get a break of that trend line right there. We're good to go, especially, I mean, if it comes back up and retest that trend line right there, I'll definitely short into it.
More from Insider. Not clear how many Intel staff to be impacted by the cuts.
See, and that's why you have your own shit. If you're not making money on the side, Intel said that they don't care how many people is affected by the cuts. I mean, to be so bold, to openly say that, to be so bold. All right, so we got that break. I'm gonna add 5 more contracts. I'm gonna put a limit order right there. Excuse me. I'm gonna add to this right at that break. Right there. Probably 1475. Okay, never mind. Shit, I think I might have messed up here. I might have messed up. I was trying to readjust the target, and I think when I readjusted it, it would have limited me in. All right, let's see. But that is a clear break of this trend line. We'll see if the market wants to retest this low. I mean, I don't think if we do see the market break down here, I'm gonna begin to trail this thing. All right, so I added into it, and like I said, I don't expect this thing to completely reverse. I think we're just seeing a rejection. I'll probably put this right here. Yeah. Yeah, I do think yeah, I don't think that we reverse. I think that this is probably the last hoorah for the Bears, and then we'll probably see that breakout. Because if I'm going to trust the technicals here on the ES, at least this little leg right here, we are making lower lows and we're making lower highs. So I do expect for the market to kind of rotate back and forth in that little channel until we break out. I do think that eventually we will go higher though. I do believe that. I don't think this thing reverses. All right, you're in ES longs. Where are you long at? I'm gonna pay attention to what happens at VWAP though. I'm definitely gonna keep my eye on that. Oh shit. You know, I appreciate that, Santiago. I forgot. See, okay. Thanks for reminding me about that. The CFD is super positive. Are you targeting 535? Are you trading minis? Oop, okay, there goes my add-on. There's my add-on right there. I got stopped out on my add-on, and now the market is trying to come from my original position. Oh, okay. You know what? Great minds think alike. Great minds think alike, dude. I'm actually looking at my ES chart too. I'm actually looking. I use ES on Bookmap. I'm looking at an ES tick chart for all my trades, but obviously I'm taking those trades on the MES. Now, there have been some time. ES, come on with that BS, man. Come on with that BS. All right. I don't think I lost too much. I may have lost like maybe $100 in that. Yeah, I may have lost like $100. So I'm not gonna try to revenge trade because I lost $100 on the add-on. But I think for moving forward with the add-ons, I'll probably have a smaller stop because with the add-ons, I don't want to risk that much. I just want to just add to the position, but not take away from it. So I had a 4-point stop on that, but I think I'm just going to use a 2-point stop moving forward. So we are getting that bounce at VWAP. The thing about VWAP on ES is that it's, when it comes to two indicators on your chart, the 200 EMA is Jesus and VWAP is God. If the market touches those two indicators, it's highly likely we see reactions. I mean, you can see it right here. I mean, it tapped the VWAP and we're getting a reaction. That will be my only concern for this trade. That will be my only concern if we see like a bounce from VWAP here. But we did get a double top rejection, and that was a swipe on liquidity right there. So
according to JMIC, Hormuz Strait commercial traffic fell to a 3-week low.
what?
So JMIC saying attacks on tankers in Omani waters reduced Hormuz traffic.
All right, so yeah, we're getting that response from. Damn, look at that. 5 points. Damn, look at that. Damn it. I should have took it. I should have took some of that off on at VWAP. Like I said, I had to do some adjusting. I had to readjust back to ES. I know these things to be true, but I'm still in a Nasdaq PTSD post PTS or PTSD mind state with the Nasdaq, because we all know the Nasdaq don't do this shit, not consistently. All right, so damn, that was a 10-point bounce right there at VWAP. Damn, right back at the trend line though. Right back at the trend line. Ah, damn it. Did I stay in this position too long? Did I stay in the position too long? Damn, look at that VWAP bounce. That is insane. Damn. All right, well, okay. Shit. All right. Well. Damn. 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 Oh boy. Damn. Okay. Yeah, this is another one of those forever wars. I was telling my trader partner the other day. I just find it very interesting that the United States like to bully these countries in the Middle East. It's still this. Gonna be another forever war, almost like the Iraqi war. Uh, and unfortunately, a lot more service members are going to have to. All right, so yeah. Shit. Oh. Well, that was damn. All right, so we broke out. I think we might pull back here. I mean, I doubt that. I doubt it. I probably have to change that a different color because that is just too. This is off-putting. I don't know. Okay, I can look at that. Can I? Yeah, you can't use the blues. Or can I? And then you think it will flash too much? Colors. And then probably that khaki color. Maybe that cornfield blue or something like that.
China's moonshot in talks on pre-IPO funds at $50 billion valuation.
That's one weapon. It's like one quick weapon right there. Yeah, this is not the Nasdaq. I gotta stop. Get out that mindset. Give me 1 second. Not the Nasdaq. Probably could just leave it too. All right, so let's see. I mean, I think, oh wow. Oh no, wonder why we're getting such a big bullish reaction. I have this thing on my chart, but I wasn't really paying attention to it. So it looks like the market traded into a 4-hour imbalance, bullish imbalance right here, and 506. Dang, only 1 point in drawdown if you took the midpoint of that 4-hour imbalance. Wonder why we're seeing such a big push. All right. So we have a 1-hour imbalance nested inside of a 4-hour imbalance. So we definitely got the market to super react from this level on the ES. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, that kind of explains why we're seeing such a big bullish reaction here. All right. So we are about to break the orb high. If we take out the session high, that is the orb high. So, and we got 3 more minutes until we get the new initial balance. Well, all right, so we know how the breakouts work. We know that the breakouts has to pull back to the EMAs, and the EMAs have to support the idea that we're going to break out and sustain the move. So we just now broken from the orb. We got the break, but we all know that this thing is going to pull back on the ES. And we know this because if it doesn't pull back to the EMA and bounce from the EMA, this move is not going to work. Do you think we got longs for the rest of the day, Santiago? And so all right, we're getting all right. So we got 1 more minute until the initial balance officially forms. We'll see what happens here. We still have this rising trend line. We have all the EMAs sloped to the upside. I'm just waiting for a pullback to the EMA. Or if we get a push up, I'm looking for a rejection back into the range, the opening range. So whichever one happens first. Just have to be patient on it and know that it's coming. It's gonna happen. You just have to be patient. I mean, the biggest edge on the ES is being patient. And
Xinhua, Chinese and Australian foreign ministers meet in Manila.
Just being patient on the move. All right, so here's our new initial balance right here. We'll see how the market reacts to this formation. All right, so we are seeing a continuation higher here. We'll see if the market rejects. All right. I doubt that it goes back all the way down there without like a reversal or something. should hold on. You're a couple more points away from. Damn, Z. Looks like the ES kind of got you there. I'm pretty sure you'll get your profit target hit if you
The
haven't
S&P
taken
500
profits
gained
already.
0.7% to a session high.
So after that, man, that was my fault. I should have gotten out. I shouldn't have gotten out at that at 11 like I told myself to get out at. I mean, the structure was pretty clear that it wasn't going to go down any lower. It gave me another opportunity to make some money in that move. It literally bounces that VWAP and yeah. We could have took profits at VWAP. And damn, we could have potentially got into this thing at VWAP. Congratulations on that, Z. The boy Z got a profit target. He got in at 15 and went all the way to 35. So shit, that was a 20-point move. Congratulations on that. Congratulations on that. But yeah, the 35 profit. I mean, I could have taken a short at 35. That does look like because it did take out the liquidity above that high right there, that pivot high. That pivot high at 34. I should have. Yeah, I probably should have tried it for a short there. A low risk short, high reward, low risk. Probably like 2 points there. Yeah. Nah, man, it's not just a 2-to-1. I mean, you planned it and you executed and you stuck with it. That combination, that series of actions is not easy, especially when we have these crazy things called emotions. It's not easy to stick with it. So great job on that. Congratulations. It always feels nice when you get a TP hits and then the market rejects. So it's like, yeah, I got out at the best spot right now. Got out at the best spot. All right, so we'll see. We'll see what happens here. We'll see what happens because the market just took out the liquidity above that high. We'll see if we'll get a rejection here. We'll see if we'll get a rejection for a continuation. Oh shit, hold on. Okay. All right. So we do got that EMA right there. I'll take a chance at it. I'll take a chance. Probably low risk. Probably 2 points. 2.5 points. Because with the ES, honestly, if it's not reacting exactly where it needs to quote unquote react, it's highly unlikely that it's not going to work. All right, so I'll get in right there. Right at that trend line. Oh shit, I'm looking at the wrong one. I don't know. But I wonder if we're gonna potentially see a trend line break here. My bad, guys. Again, I muted my. Anyway, so what I was saying was, I took this because I bought it at the trend line. I only gave it 2 points of risk here. If this one loses, I am willing to trade at the 50% of the orb. Okay. Hmm. 33.25. Um, 5045. Mm. So right now the market is coming up to the initial, the orb low or high. I'm gonna try. Gonna probably be a low risk short. I'm gonna place a sell stop limit at the high of the orb. If I can get a better entry, I will. Okay. I'm gonna try this out. I'm try it out short. And like I said, the reason why I tried is because I'm just gonna try to short it at the at structure, the orb high. It traded back into the range. It did finally break back out, but then it failed right back into the range. So I'm going to try here. I'm going to put my stop. I'm going to add a little bit of risk to this for just for right now. I don't want to get wigged out of this. Just going to put my stop above this high. Now, if it just shoots up, I'm just going to close out of this. Good thing about the ES is that I can kind of gauge if I need to get out or not. I'll take a little bit of drawdown, but I'm not going to allow it to hit my stop all the way up there. A 7-point stop. I'm not going to allow it to do that. So what I really want to see is I really don't want to see it trade past. I really don't want to see it trade past. Like I don't want it to close above that high right here. That's what I don't want.
According to
So
Press TV, Iran's IRGC hits US radar at Jabal base in Kuwait.
damn. Really? Really? All right. Damn. All right. I'm gonna stop out. It swiped the liquidity underneath that above that high, but like I said, I don't want it to. I'm not gonna allow it to trade above that high like that. Well, Z, if it missed your target the first time, it would have got you the second time. Would have got you the second time. All right, so that is definitely a double top rejection. If it goes above this, then
So a reminder, in 10 minutes time, we're expecting Trump to greet the Lebanese president. We'll see if we can find a live video, put it on the feed for those interested.
Okay. All right. Honestly, if I had a better position, if I had a better fill on this one, I guess if I waited for the liquidity sweep, and that's something else that I have to move away from as well. For the ES, the moves are where the liquidity are. With the Nasdaq, I could have gotten away with something like that because the book is so light. It's going to make moves like that. But with the ES, that liquidity sweep right there, I was looking at it. That's why I wanted to move my my stop above that because I guess instinctively I kind of figured, or I knew that if I left my stop right here, I was going to get stopped out unnecessarily just for it to whip back down. If I can take this trade again, I would wait for that that swipe of liquidity again. I would wait for it. If I can take this trade again. But usually what I see is I do usually see that once we get a break inside of the orb, they do use the orb high to reject, but okay. But
Iran minister meets Pakistan's army chief and prime minister. So reminding in 5 minutes time, we're expecting Trump to greet the Lebanese president. Can't see any video of a press conference. It just seems like they're greeting up the door and they'll go for a private meeting. But if we see anything more, we'll let you be informed.
All right, so it looks like we do have a DMZ right here. We do have a zone where we don't have anybody in control. So in this space right
the yen
here,
weakens to 163 versus the dollar, raising risks of intervention.
In this space, I guess it's whoever wants it more. But if we get a break of this trend line, it's definitely going short. But we do have these EMAs like really right here, so I'm gonna have to be mindful about where I take a profit target at. So these EMAs are about like 22.
Canadian Prime Minister Carney says Trump's latest tariff threat is a violation of the USMCA deal.
$17. Okay, so yeah, we're getting that drop now. After that, the market wipes the liquidity up above these highs. Oh, so you would have been stressed out? I guess, I don't know. Oh, as they say, what is it? The Nasdaqistan war. I mean, you've done what, 12, 20 tours, and you come back with PTSD from Nasdaqistan. The ES seems like what, a walk in the park. The ES isn't doing anything remotely close to what the Nasdaq will do to you. And so, based on what I know about the ES,
and Carney says he spoke to Trump on Tuesday morning.
Based on what I know about the ES, it's not going to do anything crazy outside of news. I don't believe that it can do anything crazy outside of news because it has what, 500 plus companies.
Carney says he and Trump agree to intensify negotiations in the coming weeks.
So we all know that when a bunch of people get together, it's hard to have a focused idea. And the common tactic that the government uses is to have a common enemy. And the common enemy in this generation right now is Trump. Regardless if you like him or hate him, the unifying factor between communities is their like or dislike of Trump. Trump is that, the antagonist of the story that people can, if they don't agree on nothing, they can agree on that. And if we can all agree on that, we can align our actions to one goal. But usually if there's no bad guy, if there's nobody to focus your goal on, the markets, and it really, and if you think about it from that perspective, giving the the stock market is just human psychology, and it's psychology, emotions, all that. The ES chops most of the time until there's a clear direction, until there's a breakout, and then it begins to trend, and then it gets to a new area, and then it goes right back to, no, I want to sell here. No, I want to buy here. I want to sell, buy, and you get the chop from the ES. So, now that I'm focusing more now on the ES, I can probably use black box stock again, because with the Nasdaq, my only thing about with the Nasdaq and the Qs,
Nvidia says new Vera processor is faster than AMD's.
My only thing about
Nvidia says chips are on schedule for use in AI data centers. Nvidia says major customers are already testing Vera Rubin gear. Nvidia say major customers are already testing Vera Rubin gear.
My only complaint was that every time with the Qs is that every time we looked at it, the gamblers weren't there sometimes, the dark pool wasn't there sometimes, and it was very frustrating to use this tool with the Qs. But I don't think I'm gonna have that issue with SPY.
110 billion in 4-week bills on July 23rd to settle on July 28th.
I don't think I'm gonna have that issue with SPY. I do see some puts coming in with SPY. Yeah. You trade them all the same way?
Carney says we will look at all options if the US goes ahead with the latest tariff threat.
With YM, the way that people use the YM with as a correlation with ES and Nasdaq.
Gemini 3.5 Pro currently testing with partners and plan to make it broadly available as soon as it's ready. Introducing Gemini 3.6 Flash and Gemini 3.5 Flash Lite and Gemini 3.5 Flash Cyber.
Okay.
And Google said they started pre-training for Gemini 4. Gemini 3.5 Flash Lite priced at 3 cents a millimeter input tokens.
Okay. So I always thought that the way that people correlate YM, NQ, and ES, I thought they were all under CME. But YM is not. YM is not a part of the CME. So why do people use YM? Where did that come from? Why do people use YM in conjunction with the ES and Nasdaq when it's not even under the same? All right, so we are getting that drop. All right, cool. We are getting the drop. We're up about $600. the hardest thing about trading the ES with me is, man, should I take my profits or not? Should I take my profits or not? Thanks, I appreciate that, Z. Man, I'm not out of the water yet. This thing could bounce right back up. We'll see, though. See. I should have. I mean, I would have been out of this trade by now if I waited for that run on liquidity above those highs. I'm gonna start. Yeah, I'm gonna start waiting on that. Those runs on liquidity before taking and entering a trade. I guess I could. No, I'm gonna let the trade play. I'm gonna let it play out. I mean, if it breaks those lows, I'll begin the trail.
Canada Prime Minister Carney says he doesn't want a partial trade agreement with the US and wants a deal that addresses all critical sectors.
Because I mean, at the most, as long as I get 8 points, I should be good. Because of my 1-2. I'm sorry, my 2-1. I might not even give the market 4 points like I planned. I might just give it like 2 or 3. I mean, well, I guess it really depends on what's happening. It'll really depend on what's happening in the market. All right, so you got the market coming up to the 200 EMA. We all know that the 200 EMA is chart Jesus on the ES. So do we see a reaction at the 200 EMA? Do we see the market try to run the EMA and pop back up? I guess we'll see. Oh, can you? You know, I'll give it a look. I'll look at YM again. Okay. All right. If we get a rejection here, I'll probably, if we get a rejection at that trend line, I'm going to add to it here. Or I guess not. I guess not. Okay. Add it to the position. Like I said, I might just reduce the risk on this one. I got in at 27, so I might, well, we'll see. Damn. All right, well, that was a nice break-even trade. Damn, right back to break-even. All right, and like I said, this is the hard part about trading. I don't know if it's a good idea to take profits or not. My mind is telling me no, but my instincts are telling me yeah. Okay. Dang, it went all the way back to my break even. Don't probably stop me. I'm gonna reduce my risk. I'm gonna reduce my risk here. On the bigger position, if it goes past 33, then I'll try to close it as soon as possible. If it does that, if it goes above 33. If you don't immediately see a rejection here, then
Trump speaking now. Trump says Iran is highly respected.
all right. I'm going to reduce this.
Trump speaking about the Lebanese president Aoun, saying he's highly respected.
I'm going to reduce that down. I mean, that sucks, man. That's always going to suck. That sucks. That sucks. I was about $600-700 on this, and now it's a green to red trade. Yeah. That sucks.
Apple to launch upgrade device leasing program to spur sales. So Apple plans to launch device leasing program on July 28th in the US. Apple upgrade to include iPhones, iPads, Macs, and Apple Watch. And Apple is partnering with Klarna on new Apple upgrade program.
Okay.
Klarna shares jumped more than 8% on the back of the Apple Pact.
No, I've been short, Rootkit. I'm not just shorting it now. Okay. All right. What? Okay. All right. No, I've been short. I just didn't take. I didn't take the profits at this structure down here, even though it was right there in my face to take it. Okay. I mean, that was my fault, man, I guess. All right.
Trump says we feel very good about Lebanon.
Yeah. I mean, both of you guys are right. Like I said, I have to kind of break out of the Nasdaq mentality, man. These are all Nasdaq tendencies. I still have it. It's embedded in my psyche and my soul. I'll come into my next life popping or shorting bullish momentums. Yo, so off topic, and this is so off topic. So I was driving down the street and something
Trump says we'll make a lot of progress with Lebanon's AU.
something caught my eye that I know was not there before. And I feel like it's I feel like it's a
Trump says the
joke being
relationship
played
with
on us,
Lebanon
honestly.
is very good.
I feel like it's a joke being played on us because as I was leaving, I look over to my left and I see Chick-fil-A. And I understand this topic has been very popular online lately, but it has a freaking K on it. And I know that shit wasn't there before because the original thing was Chick-fil-A had it was originally spelled that way with the K because that's how I remembered it growing up, with the K. And then they changed it and took off the K and left it with the C. Now I know it had a C, and I was thinking, I wonder why they took the K off. And then I'm driving up the street, and then lo and behold, a Chick-fil-A that I've been to before. I know it didn't have that freaking K on it. There it is with a freaking K on it. And then everywhere I look now, it just see like the K is back on Chick-fil-A. And then I go on, and then I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, whatever. And then I go on social media and everybody is talking about the K on Chick-fil-A. So I'm sitting here thinking like, I wonder if they're fucking with us purposely. I wonder if they're doing that to get people to talk about the K on the end of Chick-fil-A. Yeah, well, yeah, I know it's bullish, Red Kid. Like I said, I was short. I've been with short. I just didn't take the profits, and it chopped up, and then it got me. It got me. I mean, I was up about like 9 points, but I didn't take it because it didn't hit TP. Excuse me. But I may start to trail my ES trades now. Like if it gets close, I might begin to just start trailing it. All right, just random videos just start playing. Hold on. Okay. Hey, yeah, what's up, Cave Trader? How you been, man? Well. Oh yeah, so speaking of Trump is now monetizing access to his tweets. I know we was joking about that, trying to get on that Trump tweet list, but now it seems that everybody who pays a 100K subscription will get early access to his social media or True Social tweets, which is insane. Freaking insane. Are you ready for a payout today, man? Congratulations, man.
Klarna shares up 7.9% after report Apple to launch upgrade device leasing program with the company to spur sales.
I know, right? We can do a quick Google search. So this is from MSN, if you consider them a reliable source. You can also see it from Times. Trump monetizing his social media account. Trump sued, blah, blah, blah. All right, so we'll go to this one. So Trump media to sell faster access to his Truth Social post and latest bid to monetize the presidency. So Trump media to sell faster access to his Truth Social posts and latest bid to monetize presidency. Donald Trump's media company said Thursday it plans to sell faster access to market-moving social media posts by the president. And the price tag is $100K. $100K. Talk about
Trump says Israel is in the process of withdrawing from Lebanon. According to an official, the UK won't issue war bonds to fund defense.
Yeah, when I first saw that, I was like, wow. So CNBC, Trump media pitched $100,000 a month fee for faster feed from Trump Truth Social tweets. Wow, look at that push higher, man. And here I am. Didn't want to get out my... Yeah, so it says his company has discussed charging Wall Street traders and
Trump
investment
we'll
firms as much as $100K a month for faster access to his posts on his Truth Social platform, according to the people familiar with the matter. Insane. You know
Trump
what?
says Iran wants to desperately meet.
You know, honestly, I may keep this now. I may keep this. I may keep it because these gamma levels on the ES or in SPY, obviously we're seeing
Trump
the bounce.
Says Iran wants to meet. We have no interest.
We're seeing the levels on SPY hit for the Nasdaq on the ES. We do have this big gamma level here at 748. So I'm going to pay attention to what the market does at 748. I'm not going to look for a short unless the market tells me it's ready to short, but I am interested to see how the market reacts at this gamma level because it looks like it's the biggest one. The next biggest one would be at 755. Yeah, well, the one at
Trump
755
says no
is the
interest in meeting
biggest.
Iran until they are ready.
But let's see what happens at 748. We'll see. And looks like a lot of people are coming in. Or actually, let me refresh this and make sure that it's up to date information. And this is my biggest gripe with this application too, is because now it's to the point now where it's just like it's just annoying sometimes. It's annoying. Okay, so
Trump, asked on China election claims, says we do things to them too.
did y'all see that landslide, that mountains, that incident that happened in China? Very interesting to say the least. Mountain collapses. Oh, let's do a Google search. Mountain collapse. All right,
Dollar
so
yen up 0.26% after hitting 163.04, first cross above 163 since December 1986.
so apparently mountains just collapse, apparently. And yeah, this happened in China. I guess they're showing the cleanup and they're showing the cleanup and everything. Okay. Okay. Well,
Trump says nobody gets through the blockade.
I'm probably going to check the charts again around like 1 o'clock ish, probably after lunch, and see what happens. Because when I came to my desk yesterday, the ES set up that trend line break short to the downside, but I was just returning to my desk. I just only had trading view up. I wasn't prepared for the move. And boy, was that a beautiful short down. I think I still have it marked on my chart somewhere. Maybe. Yeah, this trend line break right here, I was not ready for it right there. And I was like, damn. And it delivered price beautifully to the downside. You had this little strength trade right here. So usually on the ES, when you see a C of one color, people like to sell or buy the opposite color. So as an example, like this red candle right here would have been bought. If they missed the initial move higher, people likes to buy that red candle. And same thing, when you see like the market coming to the downside, people like to sell that green candle just to be able to get into it.
SpaceX shares rise 7.6% after 7 consecutive sessions of losses.
Let's look at SpaceX. Because I mean, we talked about this. We understood that this is exactly what SpaceX was going to do. This should be a surprise to nobody. The only people that this should be a surprise to is people that are not familiar with how the market moves. But we talked about this. We knew that this thing was going to do exactly this. It hasn't formed the structure. I mean, it could V bottom. I mean, you just never know. We could see a V bottom retesting that pivot high, that trap high right there. That trap high right there. We could see the market kind of V bottom, maybe stair step its way right there. Probably do something like that and then back down. That's not financial advice or anything, but we could see something like that. But it's pretty clear that the Nasdaq will allow anybody and anything into its ranks. And our 401ks will be used as liquidity for it. That's basically what happened. And we have Anthropic and we have OpenAI geared to do the same exact thing. And so I think with the addition of SpaceX, OpenAI, and Anthropic into the Nasdaq, we're going to probably see a decoupling or a decorrelation between the Nasdaq and the ES. Not a big deviation, but just big enough, especially when they add Anthropic and OpenAI. We're definitely going to see a decoupling. But right now, this looks exactly what the ES looks like, actually. Well, hold on. This is the Nasdaq? Oh, yeah, the Nasdaq probably already made its move. It already made the move higher here. Okay. But all right, guys, that was my cue. I have to get ready for this
I would
meeting.
speak to Hezbollah.
All right, so we started off strong. I took a couple of trades that I should have taken profits earlier than I should. I literally had 2 trades where I said I should get out at this area, and because I didn't get out at those areas, the market came back and I got stopped out. That happened twice this session. So moving forward, if I say something like that, I'm just going to begin the trail once price reaches those areas, so we don't have situations where, you know, we turn green or red. So but other than that, I think today was a good session. We had some great setups. We made a lot of money. I mean, we gave back half, but we're still green on this session. So with that said, I do appreciate everybody that joined me today. We'll definitely come back later on tonight, and we'll definitely look for more opportunities to earn some more money. And with that said, peace out, everybody, and keep on jabbing.